Hey you guys, Jason here, staying strong. I'd like to show you how you can transfer files from your iPad to a computer so that you're ready to get a fresh start when you return this fall. It's a good idea to organize your files from time to time because unused data takes up a lot of space and it can make it difficult to find things when you need to find them. There are lots of ways that you can transfer your data. I'm going to show you one method using iTunes because I think it's quick and easy, and the process is going to be similar for most of the applications that you might use. Specifically, I'm going to focus on transferring data from iWork, Notability, iMovie, and your camera roll because that's where most of your important classwork is stored. However, you may have data in other applications that you need to back up, and if so, the process is probably going to be pretty similar. If it's not and you need some extra help, please stop by the tech office and we'd be happy to assist you. You should also organize your folders in box so that you have plenty of storage space when you start next year. Copy over any files that you might need from shared folders to a new folder. You might name it something like 2012, 2013 work, and then you remove yourself from those shared folders. I'm not going to go over this in too much detail. Again, please stop by the tech office on the 6th floor if you need some help with that. Very important, before you do anything or delete anything from your iPad, be sure that you do an iCloud backup, which I'm going to show you how to do in the video first. Also, as you're watching, be on the lookout for baby sloths. It's a good idea to turn on iCloud backup. That way, if anything happens to your iPad, if it's lost or damaged, our tech department will be able to recover all the data that was on your iPad when we transfer you to a new device. The way you turn on iCloud backup is click on Settings, iCloud, Storage and Backup, and toggle the iCloud backup switch on. It'll give you the last time that a backup was completed. To start a new one, click Backup Now. This could take anywhere between 1 and 4 hours depending on how much data you have to back up and when the last one was completed. Once you've turned on iCloud Backup, it should periodically do a backup for you whenever you're connected to a Wi-Fi network. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can transfer files from your iWork apps, so Pages, Keynote, and Numbers, to a desktop or laptop computer through iTunes. I'm going to be using Pages as an example, but it works the same in Pages, Keynote, and Numbers, so you can use the same process. So I've loaded Pages. I see the files that I've saved. In order to send one of these to iTunes, you need to hold down on it until it starts to wiggle. Then I'll click once to select it, and now you can see I have an option in the upper left-hand corner to send that to iTunes. So I'll click Copy to iTunes. I'd suggest saving it as a Pages document if you plan on opening on your iPad again. Okay, and now that's transferred. You're going to need to do that with each file one at a time. Notice that if I try to select more than one file at once, the option to send it to iTunes disappears. So you will have to go through and send each of these files one at a time. So I've connected my iPad to a computer with a dock connector, and now I'm going to load up iTunes. And once iTunes comes up, it should recognize my iPad, so I'm going to click that. And then you'll need to navigate to Apps and scroll down to File Sharing. And on File Sharing, you will see all the applications that you have on your iPad which you can transfer files from. So I'll scroll down to Pages. And I can see here those two documents that I just sent from my iPad to iTunes. So in order to back these up, I'm going to select them. I just did a command click to select two at a time. And I can click Save To. And I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop, and I'll call it iPad, iWork, Backup. Click Create. And it should have transferred those files there. Let me just double check that they're there in my desktop. And they are. So now it's safe to go back to my iPad and delete these files to free up some space and get ready for next year. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a backup of your Notability files to a laptop or desktop computer using iTunes. So I'll click on Notability, and you'll see a little jump box in the upper left-hand corner. Click on that. Now I can select notes individually by clicking on them one at a time, or you can click on a folder to select all the notes at once. So I'm going to select 3 files. Then you click the jump box again. Then click iTunes. You can change the format if you want. It's PDF by default. If it stays in PDF, you won't be able to make any changes to that file. If you plan on editing these files again in Notability, you might want to change that to Note, but I'm going to stick with PDF and then click Send to iTunes. Okay, so I've loaded up iTunes. I have my iPad connected to my computer. I'm going to select iPad, then click Apps, scroll down, and I'm going to select Notability. I can see all my files were backed up. Click the top one. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click the bottom one to select them all at once, and then click Save To. And I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop, and I'm going to call it Notability iPad Backup. Create. And I can see that those are transferring now to my desktop. And let me just double check on my desktop to be sure that they are in the folder. And they are. So I'm safe now to go ahead and delete those files from my iPad to free up some space. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a backup of your iMovie project files. So I'm going to load up iMovie. I'll have the project selected that I want to back up to iTunes. Click the little jump box at the bottom and then select Send Project to iTunes. Okay, so I have my iPad connected to my computer and I've loaded iTunes. I'm going to select my iPad, click Apps, scroll down to iMovie, and I can see my project file has been saved, so I'll select it and then click Save To. I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop. I'm going to call it iPad iMovie Backup. Click Create. You can see it's now saving. Let me just double check that on my desktop to be sure that it's saved, and it did. So it's safe now for me to go ahead and delete that from my iPad so I can free up some space. In this video, I'm going to show you how to download images and videos from your iPad in case you need to work with them on your laptop or you might be running out of storage space. So I've plugged the iPad in using the dock connector. You may have a window pop up once you plug it in. If not, I use a program called Image Capture. So the way you can find Image Capture is you can press Command Spacebar to use your spotlight and just start typing Image Capture and it should show up right away. Or you can just click this little magnifying glass icon and type Image Capture and it should show up. Once you see Image Capture, click Return. And Image Capture will show you everything that is on the device that is connected. You have an option down here in the lower left corner to open Image Capture as soon as the iPad is connected. I would set that if it's not already. So if it's set to something else like Preview or No Application, I would change that to Image Capture. That way whenever you plug in your iPad, Image Capture will open automatically. You have another option down here to delete the files after you import them. It's up to you. If you want to keep a backup, you might want to leave that unchecked just in case something goes wrong. You don't want to lose your files. If you're pretty sure that you won't need them on your iPad anymore, you can check delete after import. And then over here, you can select where you want it to go. I'll create a new folder on my desktop here and just call it iPad Backup and put the date. And choose that as the folder. So now I can go ahead and select which images and video files I want to back up. And the way that you do that, you can press each one and press Command, or you can also press Shift if you want to select more at a time. You can also click Import All if you just want to import every file that's on your iPad. So I'm just going to select these 6 or so images. I've got it set to delete them from the iPad after I import them. This is going to iPad backup folder, and I have got today's date on there. And then I'll just click import. Okay. So I'll go to that folder that I just created on my desktop, open it up. You can see those 6 images are there, and they are no longer on my iPad. One last thing you might want to do once you've got everything on your computer is create a new folder. We'll call it iPad Backup 2012-2013, and move your folders into there, and put this somewhere on your hard drive where you can keep it safe. If you want, another option is also to upload it to Box, Dropbox, Drive, or another cloud storage service provider so that you always have it if you need it.